Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I'm going to continue the same module, that is a quality system and chapter number 2, that is a design concepts. In the last class we have studied about these quality controls and then move to the next part, that is the quality, how the quality controls will be maintained. So let's start with the previous class session. That is what we have covered in the last class. Then move to the today's topic, that is what are the various special courses that is available for the quality improvement. So let's start with the previous class session. In the last class, we have started with the quality control. That means what are the various steps that is available for the quality control. That is a part of the quality management that focus on the fulfilling the requirement. So whatever the requirement that is available, that fulfilled by the quality control. So then we discuss about the quality control. That is what are the various quality measures that is taken, that is taken for the quality control. That is the quality control is a part of the quality management that is available, and it is a part of the quality management also regulate the performances. So whatever the performance that is available, that regulates with the help of the quality control, that is also a part of the quality management. Now, the control is sometimes perceived as undesirable as it removes the freedom. So whatever the control that is available, that is perceived as undesirable control as it removes the freedom. But if everyone was free to do just as they like, there would be chaos. That means if I'm everyone have freedom, and if I have right to do something or do everything, then there will be chaos because there are no rules regulation that is available. That means there is no one standard rule that is available for all the persons. Every person have their own rules. So that means there will be a chaos, there will be a hard and fast, we can say the hodgepodge in the organization. And when the operations are under the control, they are predictable. So when they are under the control, there will be quality control. That means they are predictable what they are going to do, what they are not going to do. And the quality control is often regarded as a post-event activity. That means it is used to detect the quality in advance, whether the quality has been achieved to correct the, or to, whether quality has been achieved or not. So quality can be achieved to correct any deficiencies, or if there any limitation, any deficiencies that is available, that is achieved, and taking the action to correct any deficiencies. This is a generic control model. This is the requirement. Then there is a plan, then do, then check, then confirm. This is the requirement is correct, then plan for this one, then do the action, then check for this one. Then if it is confirmed, yes, then product or the services. Otherwise, if it is not confirmed, that means if there are rules and regulation that is not available correct, that means some actions are taken out. That actions may be remedial action, that action may be a corrective action. And the progressive development of the control from having no control of quality for installing controls at all the key stages from the beginning to the end of the product cycle is illustrated in the 2.5. That means this is a cycle that is available, that is illustrated, that shows that if there is no control, then there will be a chaos among the organization, among the persons, among the control. So these are the development of the control. The next is the control before the event. So there are control that is occurred before the event. So before the transaction occurs, so there will be a control. For example, before transacting in the bank, I have to control on my salary, on my account, everything that is controlled by the money. That is controlled before the event. So some failures cannot be allowed to occur, so must be prevented from happening through rigorous planning and the design. That is the control before the event. And one example is the use of the reliability prediction performed before the design is complete to predict. That means first of all predict about the controlling, that is how the controlling will be made before the controlling or before the event will occur. The next is the control after the or during the event. So there are three controls, there are three parts of the controlling. One is before the event, one is during the event, next is the after the event. So one is the before the event that we have discussed, then there's the during the event. So some failure must be corrected immediately using automatic control or mistake proofing. So whatever the proofing, whatever the control that is available, that is controlled by the automatic control or the mistake proofing, and by continuous monitoring of the parameters. So by continuous monitoring of the parameter in a processing plant, the temperature, quantities, etc. are adjusted to maintain the output. So whatever the output, whatever the controlling we are going to take, that are going to maintain the output within the specified limit. And there are electronic components that are also designed so that they can also be or only be interested in the correct orientation. That means electronic components are designed in such a way that they must be inserted in the correct orientation. And computer programs are designed so that the routines will not run unless the correct type of data is entered. So until and unless the correct type of data is not entered, so we cannot run or we cannot run the correct type of data. Then control after the event. So one is control before the event, then control during the event, then control after the event. So where the consequences of the failure are less severe and where other types of sensors are not practical or possible, so output verification can be used as a means of detecting the failure. That means as a means of detecting the failure, so there is the output verification that is controlling before or after the event. That means product inspection and test is performed after the event because it occurs after the product is produced. Then quality control as a label. So quality control can also be used as a label. So quality control is also the term that is used as the name of the department. That means it is also used as the name of the department. And in most cases, the quality control department performs the inspection and test activities, and the name derives from the authority that such department have been given. That means whatever the name that is given, that is the quality control departments that gives or that performs the inspection and the test activity that is derived from the activity from the authority. That means it is used as a label, it is used as a department-wise labels. Now, what are the various sequence of the step that is used? So first of all, determine what parameter are to be controlled. Then what are the various sensors? What are the various conditions that is used to control? Then establish a specification. Then produce the plan for the control that specify the means by which the characters will be achieved. Then organize the resources to implement the plans for the quality control. That is, what are the various resources that is required to implement the plans for the quality control. Then install a sensor at an appropriate point. That means installing the sensors, installing the devices at an appropriate point in the process to sense the variation from the specification. So to sense the variation from the specification, so there must be a sensor that is installed. Then collect and transmit the information or collect and transmit the data to a place for the analysis. That means collect or transmit the data to a place for the analysis part. Then verify the result and establish whether the variance is within the range that is expected or not. That means verify the result and establish whether the variance that is available is within the range that is expected range or not. That means these are the variance that is available or not. Then diagnose the cause of any variance, then purpose the remedies and decide on the action, then take the agreed action and check that the process feasibility have been restored. Now, next part is what is the variation. That means any movement, any pitch, and anything that is available, that is a variation that is present in all the systems, and nothing is absolutely stable. If you monitor the difference between the measured value and the required value and plot on the horizontal time scale, that means there is a variation. That means whatever the change is. For example, if I'm doing something and you are doing something, whatever the change is, whatever the material that we have changed, whatever the output that is changed, that is known as the variation. That is represented by whenever we plot on the horizontal axis. Now, there is a variation between the second set and the first. That means there are multiple variation. Now, variation in the location of the average for each slot, then variation in the speed of the values, then variation in the shape of the distribution. So there are variation, multiple variation that is available. One variation between the location of the average. So whatever the average that is counted out for the plot, that is variation is available in the location, then variation in the speed of the values, then variation in the shape of the distribution. So the factors that causing these variations are referred as the assignable or the spatial causes. That means what are the various factors that is applicable for the variations. So they are the spatial causes and the common cause. So these are the two causes that is available for the variation. That means why the variation will be carried out. So one is the spatial case or spatial cause. Now, the cause of variation in the location, spread, and shape of distribution are considered spatial or assignable. So, whatever the cause that is available with the variations in the location, spread, and shape of a distribution are considered spatial or assignable because the cause can be assigned to a specific or special condition that does not apply to other event. So whatever the event that can be applied to the specific event, specific condition that does not apply to the other event. That means the the cause or the effect must be we can say the result for that purpose only, must be result for that spatial arrangement only, because that cause can be assigned to a special purpose or the specific or the special condition that does not apply to other event. That means that does not apply to other event, that is a special cause. And they are causes that are not always present. Whenever we are using the wrong material, inaccurate measuring device, worn out tool, sick employee, weather condition, whatever the condition that is, that cannot be predictable. And when they occur, they make the shape, spread, and location of the average change. And the process is not predictable while causing the prevention. So that the special cause is available for the special things, for the special tool that will be available for the variations. And eliminating the special cause is a part of the quality control. Then next is a common cause. One of the common cause of variation has been removed. The variation present is left to chance. That means whatever the variation that is present, that is left to the chance, that is used with the variations, so that is used with the variation controls. This does not mean that no action should be taken. So this doesn't mean that no action will be taken to treat each deviation from the average. No, 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 that is not a part. But variation can be caused by the poor design. So whatever the variation, that is a common cause. That common cause may be a poor design. That common cause may be a working environment, equipment, advantages. So whatever the requirement, whatever the advantage that is available, that makes the common cause. That means that there will be a common cause among the requirements. And this variation could be caused by the poor design, working environment, equipment maintenance, or the inadequacy of the information. And some of these even may be uncommon to all the processes. So some of these even may be uncommon to all the processes, as all the machines, all the material of a particular type, all work performed in a particular location or the environment. Now, this is the removal of the special causes, then process stabilize, then improvement is expected but will not happen, then proportion of the non-conformity. So these are the given as a stabilizing resources. So this shows that by removing the special causes, the process settle down, and although non-conformity remains, that means whenever we remove the special causes, then only the process will settle down, but the non-conformity will remain the same. Performance becomes unpredictable. Further improvement will not happen until the common cause are reduced. So until the common cause are reduced, so that will not make the impact. That means whenever we are using the special cause, whenever we are removing the special cause, then the process settle down, but the non-conformities are available in that part, are predictable. So further improvement will not happen until the common causes are reduced, and this requires action by the management. However, the action management takes should not be looked for a suffocate or God, the person whom they believe caused the error, but to look for the root cause, the inherent weakness in the system that causes variation. So whatever the variation that is available, that is used for removing the special causes, that the process settle down, and although non-conformity remains the same, performance become more predictable. And with a stable process, the spread of common cause variation will be within certain limit. So whatever the limit, whatever the certain limit that is available, that is used to spread the common cause variation, that is within the certain limit. And these limits are not the specification limit, but are limits of the natural variability of the process. So whatever the variability of the process, that limit will not be the specification limit. And these limits can be calculated and refers to the upper and the lower control limit. There will be a UCL, that is upper control limit, and there will be a LCL, that is the lower control limit. This is the process that is not in the control, then upper specification, average, lower specification. Now the next part is quality improvement. Now how the quality will be improved, that is a part of the quality improvement. So we have discussed about the quality control. Now next part is quality improvement. That means how the quality will be improved, or what are the various steps, what are the various measures that is carried out for the quality improvement. So the next part is a quality improvement. That is how the quality will be improved. That is one next topic. That is after the quality control, there will be quality improvement. So firstly, we need to put the quality improvement in context because it is a many field or minefield of the terms and the concept that overlap one another. That means that overlap one another, that is that overlap what are the various terms, what are the various quality improvement procedure that is carried out within the quality management. So firstly, we need to put the quality improvement in context because it is minefield of the terms and the concept that overlap one another. And there are other things that are certain in their in this life: death, taxes, and change. So there are three things that are certain in the life: whatever the text, whatever the life, death, taxes, and the change. We cannot improve anything unless we know its present condition, and that require the measurement analysis to tell what the improvement is both desirable and the feasible. So whatever the improvement, whatever the term that is required, that is both desirable and feasible for the quality improvement. And improvement is always relative. That means improvement is always relative in the sense that there should be a relative improvement in the in the area of the quality improvement. Change is improvement because if it is beneficial. So if I have to change something, that is improvement. If it is beneficial and retrograde step, that means it is a retrieval step that is available for the undesirable, for the middle ground, that is change is the constant. So it exists in everything and it can be caused by the physical, social, or the economic forces. So there are multiple forces by which the change can be carried out. That causes maybe the physical causes, social causes, or the economic causes. Its effect can be desirable, tolerable, or undesirable. So whatever things, whatever the material that is using, so that have an effect that can be desirable, tolerable, or the undesirable. Desirable change is the change that brings a positive benefit to the organization. So whatever the positive benefit, whatever the effect that is available, that provides the positive benefits to the organization. That means the desirable change is the change that brings the positive benefits to the organization that is available, and tolerable change is the change that is unavoidable and yields no benefit. So if there are more desirable, means there is a positive benefit that is available, and tolerable change is a change that is unmeritable and yields no benefit or may have undesirable effects when improperly controlled. The challenge is to cause undesirable, or the challenge is to cause desirable change and to eliminate, reduce, or control the undesirable change. So whatever the change is, whatever the effect that is available, that is used to cause a desirable change and to eliminate, reduce, or control the undesirable change, so that it becomes tolerable change. Durant writes on the improvement, thus putting out the fires is not improvement of the process, neither is discovery and removal of a special cause that is detected by a point of control. So whatever the point of control that is available, that control may not be an improvement of the process. This only puts the process back to where it should have been in the first place. This will call restoring the status quo. That means restoring whatever the status that is quo. If eliminating the special causes is not improvement but maintaining the status quo, that leaves two areas where the improvement is desirable, that is the reduction of the common cause variation and the raising of standard. So whatever the standard, whatever the raising material that is available, that is used to raise the standard, to raise the standards. Then figure 2.8 illustrate the continuing cycle of the event between the various periods. That means there will be a continual improvement in the processes and the period of change. The transition from one target to another may be gradual on one scale, but consider as a breakthrough on the another scale. That means that these changes may be considered as a target, or we can say constant at one scale, but may be different at the another scale. So this represents the expected performance of the process. The spike outside the average variation is due to the special cause, the one-off event that can be eliminated. So whatever the event that is eliminated, that can be a special cause. This can be regarded as a fire and commonly known as a firefighting. And when considering the improvement by raising the standard, there are two types of standard. One for the result achieved, and the for the manner in which the results are achieved. That means there are two parts for the result achieved. There are two parts, or there are two standards that is available. One for gaining the higher result, one for gaining the result, or how the result should be achieved. And we could improve on the standards we aim for, the level of the performance, the target, or the goal, but use the same methods. Now, this leads to the four questions. Are we doing it right? That means, are we using the standards in the right way? Can we keep on doing it right? Are we doing it in the best way? Is it the right thing to do? That means these are the four questions that is answered. That is answered over here. That is whether the are you doing the right thing, or are you can we keep on doing it right? Are you doing it in the best way? And the ISO definition of the quality improvement states that it is the part of the quality management focus on increasing the ability to fulfill quality requirements. So whatever the quality requirement that is available, that is fulfill the quality requirement, that is the quality improvement. So these are the various questions. Are we doing the better thing or not? These are the various questions that is given by the answer, that is, are we doing the best thing, better thing or not? Now, next part is the quality assurance that I'm going to take after the break. So let's take a break and move to the next topic, that is quality assurance. So come back from the break. Now let's start the session again. Next part is a quality assurance. So that is a quality improvement we have done, quality control we have done. Next part is the quality assurance. That is also a part of the quality management and focus on providing the confidence that quality requirements will be fulfilled. That means it is a way of finding out or providing the confidence, or we can say providing the rule or providing the state term that means the quality requirements will be fulfilled. That is also a part of the quality management. Both the customers and the managers have a need for the quality assurance because they are not in a position to oversee operation for themselves, because that is required by the customer as well as the manager, because they are not only they need a quality assurance because they are not in a position to oversee the operation for themselves. They need to place trust in the producing operation, thus avoiding the constant intervention. That means they need to they mean the customer or the managers, they need to maintain the, or they need to make the or place the trust in the producing operation, therefore avoiding the constant intervention. And customer and managers need knowledge of what is to be supplied. That means they have a knowledge, or they need the knowledge of what is to be supplied, knowledge of how the product or service is intended to be supplied. That means how the product or the services is intended to be supplied. The knowledge that the declared intention will satisfy the customer requirement. So if there is a customer requirement that is available, if the customer requirement is not met, that is also one of the declared intention that is available. And also gain the knowledge that the customer and managers also gain the knowledge that the declared intentions are actually being followed. So whatever the declared intention that are actually being followed over the internet, over the phone, anything, knowledge that the product and services meet the specified requirements. So there is also knowledge that meets the specific requirement. So there is a knowledge that meets the specific or specified requirement, and this may be gained by the personal assessment, or we can say the personal assessment, or the reliance on the interdependent or independent audits. And you can gain an assurance of quality by testing the product service against the quality control. That means there is a quality control management that is available, that can be prescribed. There will be a prescribed standard to establish its capability to meet them. However, this only gives a confidence in the specific product. That means this only gives a specification or confidence in the specific product or the service and purchase, and not in the continuity or the consistency. That is not provided in the consistency that is available. Another way is to assess the organization that supplies the product and services against the prescribed standards. So if the prescribed standards are not available, if it is available, that is used to produce a product of a certain standard. And this approach may provide an assurance of continuity and the consistency of the supply. So whatever the consistency that is available, they provide the assurance of the continuity and the consistency of the supply in the major period, in the major part. Quality assurance activity do not control the quality. So they do not control the quality that is available. They establish the extent to which the quality will be is being or have been controlled. So whatever the quality that is controlled, that is one of the part of the quality assurance, that have established the extent to which the quality will be is being or has been controlled. All the quality assurance activities are post-event activities and offline, and serve to build the confidence in the results. That means whatever the confidence, whatever the activity that is available, that is used to build the confidence in the result, in claims, in predictions, etc. And if the person tells you that they will do a certain job for a certain price in a certain time, you can trust them, and they will be late, overspent, and underspent. And there is the ISO 9001 standard that provides the basis for obtaining an assurance of the quality. And if you are a customer, and a basis for quality control if you are a supplier. That means it provides an assurance of the quality if you are a customer. It provides a basis for controlling the quality if you are a supplier. That means It is applicable for both the supplier, customer, everyone that is available, supplier, manager, everyone. And quality assurance is often perceived as a means to prevent the problem, but this is to not consistent with the definition in the ISO 9000 standard. In one case, the misconception arises due to the people limiting their perception of the quality control. So whatever the quality control, so people have a different conception about the quality control to control their steps, to control their procedure, to control their event, not appreciating that you can control an outcome before the event by installing the mechanism. So whatever mechanism that is developed, whatever the things that is developed by the failure prediction, mistake proofing, or automation of the. In other case, the misconception arises due to the label attached to the ISO 9000 series of standards. So there are multiple standards that is available, that is the ISO 9000 standards, and they are sometimes known as the quality assurance standards, when in fact, as a family of standards, they are quality management system standards. They are the part of the quality management system standards, and the requirement within the standards that is required, that is used to prevent the problems, and the standard is associated with the term quality assurance. That means whatever the quality term, whatever the quality assurance term that is available, they are going to, or they are going to prevent the problems, they are going to gain the standard that is used to prevent the problems, and the standard is associated with the term quality assurance. And it is true that by installing by a quality management system, you will gain an assurance of the quality, but assurance comes only through the knowledge of what is, with your knowledge about the quality assurance, that will fulfill the human being something, or that will fulfill the doing something that will be applicable for gaining the knowledge. Labeling the prevention activities as a quality assurance activities may have a negative effect. So if I have to label the prevention activities as a part of the quality assurance activities, they may have a negative effect, particularly if you have a quality assurance department. So if there is a quality assurance department that is available, so there will be a negative quality assurance activity that will be carried out in a negative effect. Quality assurance departments are often formed to provide both customer and the management with confidence that quality is being and has been achieved. So whatever the quality management that is achieved, that is used to bring the customer and the management with the confidence that quality is being and has been achieved. However, another way of looking upon the quality assurance department is the corporate quality control. So there is a corporate quality control that is also available, that measures the quality of the product. And these are the various steps that will be obtained to obtain the assurance of the quality. So first of all, acquire the document, then produce a plan, then organize the resources, and establish whether the organization proposed the product or the services that is required or not. Now, level of attention to the quality. What's the level that is available? There are three levels, or the three primary organization level. One is the enterprise level, one is the business level, and then is the operations level. So these are the three levels that is available for the primary organizations level: enterprise level, business level, and the operations level. And these are the three levels that is available in this one, that is the organization level, enterprise level, and the business levels. Now, this is the principal process focus. That means how to focus on this one, or what is the main criteria by which we can focus on the material, by which we can focus on the terms. There is a business material. In reality, these levels overlap, particularly in the small organization. If there is a small organization, these must overlap with each other. The supervisors will be involved at three levels, whereas in the large multinational company, the CEO spend all the time at the enterprise level. If it is a small organization, it is a different concept. If it is a large organization, it is a different concept. It depends on the organization level. It depends on the organization size. For the small organization, they overlap with each other, and the manager will be available only at the enterprise level, or only at the first level, that is the enterprise level. But within the large organization, that is available within the large organization, there are multiple people that can spend all of the time at the enterprise level by touching the business level, except the major deals that is used with the potential customer. So that is deal with the potential customer of the data. This is the principal process focus, then basic team structure, then performance issue focus, then typical quality system focus, then ideal quality system focus. Then this is the enterprise business operation. Then there is a strategist business work, cross business, cross functional, departmental, ownership, customer process, then market, administrative, task process, then strategic, business process, work process. that are being negotiated. That means these are negotiated with this one. And what is the main focus for the quality management system is at the operations level. So main focus is on the operations level. Next part is a quality management system that I'm going to discuss within the next class, that is the tomorrow's class. So that's all for today's session, and thank you so much everyone for listening me. If there is any doubt, any suggestions, and anything about